In the Atacama Desert in Chile, an open-air dump disfigures the landscape. On the ground, tons of rubbish is left to rot. Along with trash and plastic, lie heaps and heaps of clothes. Carla Aviles takes us on a tour of one of these open-air dumps in her childhood town, Alto Hospicio.
Many bales of jeans have arrived. Now they're all dirty. We can't reuse them. This is a Lee brand jean. This is Gap. It's a brand we really like here. On the internet, when you search for Alto Hospicio, you come across videos saying this is the ugliest place in the world. We're just a little town tucked away in the north of Chile, but people know us because of that description.
The clothes end up here after being transported through the port of Iquique. It's a customs-free zone where merchandise is generally exempt from taxes. Over 60,000 tons of clothes arrive every year from Europe and all over the world, stocking warehouses like this one. Hundreds of wholesalers have a stake in the business.
We get our supplies from several places in the US, New York, New Jersey, California, and it arrives in big bundles like this.
Second-hand clothes and unsold items are packed inside these bundles. Some still have their tags on them. This importer shows us the best clothes in his stock, including some familiar budget brands.
This is top quality. It's a good brand. It's Shein.
Is Shein a good brand for you?
Here, people like it, even if they don't know what it is. Abroad, people know the brand, but not here.
The majority of these clothes will be sold at one of the biggest markets in the country. This is the Quebradilla market in Alto Hospicio. Thousands of stalls are stocked with merchandise. Here, you can find cheap prices and surprising items. This local goes to the Quebradilla several times a week to replenish her wardrobe.
You can get dressed here for €2. You can buy a waistcoat or pants. It saves me money.
But the clothes don't always find a buyer.
We select a few clothes and sell them at a slightly lower price.
Have you heard of people throwing clothes away?
No.
Off camera, this saleswoman admitted that some of her unsold items end up in the desert. It's been an ongoing practice for years. These videos showing mountains of clothes piling up were filmed in 2021. Today, garbage dumps are increasingly scattered and almost everything is burnt immediately. The smoke from the burning piles reaches the home of Anita Aila, a 65-year-old woman. Her bedroom has become her refuge.
When there's a bit of smoke coming in, I close the window. It's filled with a smell and it gets to my eyes. It hurts me a lot and I've got eye problems. The smoke is ruining my eyesight.
Now, when she leaves her house, she never forgets her protective face mask. Her neighborhood has become a garbage dump.
Can you smell it? You can smell it burning. Even with a mask on, you can smell it. There are always people throwing things away. No matter how much we clean up, people are still dumping here.
Around Anita's house, ash heaps keep multiplying. We meet up again with Carla Aviles. She believes that countries with massive textile consumption are also responsible for the waste.
It's a problem that comes from the United States, a problem they also have in Europe, and it's up to them to deal with it, not us. We don't have the infrastructure or money. We're trying to find solutions to treat all this clothing and stop it from being thrown away.
Here in the desert wasteland, a solution may lie in recycling. More than 3,000 tons of clothes are waiting to be recycled here, and bales arrive daily. A factory is due to open soon. Some think it will bring new hope to this small town in the Chilean desert.
For more on this story, I'm joined by Aurore Dupuis from our environment desk. Aurore, it's interesting. I mean, this really seems like the most unlikely place in the world to dump clothes.
Yeah, absolutely. Chile is home to South America's largest duty-free port. It was originally designed in the 70s to boost local economy and curb unemployment. But in the 2010s, ultra-fast fashion exploded with social media and online platforms. There are simply too many clothes to deal with. In Chile, it's forbidden to dump textile waste in legal landfills because it generates soil instability. So most of these clothes end up in the Atacama desert. It's actually the driest place on Earth. Its surface looks so much like Mars that NASA went there to test its rovers. But it's not remembered for that at all, unfortunately. The place is now dubbed the Fast Fashion Cemetery, and it's so huge that it can be seen all the way from space.
Now, of course, we want to try and solve this problem at its root. It's important to implement global regulations. Let's start here in the EU. What's being done here?
Well, today, less than 5% of textile waste is actually recycled within Europe. All the rest is exported, and much of it ends up in landfills or illegal dumps halfway across the world. According to the European Environment Agency, the EU generated 7 million tons of textile waste in 2022. That's 19 kilos per person. 85% of our clothes are not separated from the rest of the household waste, which means that it cannot be reused, it cannot be recycled. So there is definitely room for improvement there. At the beginning of the year, the EU agreed to make textile producers and fashion brands responsible for their waste. They will soon have to pay to fund waste collection and treatment, and that fee will vary depending on how circular and sustainable the design of their products are. By 2030, a digital passport will also be required for any goods sold within the EU with transparent information on materials, lifespan, and recyclability.
And even here in France, there's another solution on the table.
Indeed, French authorities want to ban advertising by e-platforms like Shein and Temu. They also want penalties for companies that don't meet certain environmental criteria, between €5 for a garment and up to 50% of its price. Now, these regulations will come into force by the end of this year or maybe early next year, but green activists have already warned it's not strict enough. The bill distinguishes between ultra-fast fashion, Chinese brands Shein and Temu, and fast fashion, European brands Zara, H&M, meaning that the European sector wouldn't be as penalized as their Chinese competitors. And yet many European companies still produce their clothes in Asia, where labor is cheaper and working conditions are poor.
Okay, until all of these regulations are in place, what can all of us do to help?
Well, first, we could all stop buying so many clothes. Just to put things into perspective, Jeannie, there are 8.2 billion people on planet Earth right now, and more than 100 billion pieces are sold worldwide every year. Let's do the math. That's more than 12 items per person every single year. Do we really need them? No wonder the textile industry represents up to 10% of total greenhouse gas emissions. In the Atacama desert, NGOs and Chilean authorities are currently working for a long-term cleanup campaign. In March, a new platform was created. It's called the Re-Commerce Atacama. 300 items, including Nike, Adidas, Calvin Klein clothes, they were found in the desert, washed and sold online for €0. Customers only had to pay for shipping, and the first batch sold out within the first 5 hours.
All right, good to know there are some initiatives taking place there. Aurore, thank you so much for that. That's our environment editor, Aurore Dupuis.